Good morning, children. Welcome to biology session. As you all know, last class we have completed autotrophic nutrition. This class we are going to start about heterotrophic nutrition. In the living world, all organisms are capable of surviving under different conditions and acquiring their food in different ways. We have studied about organisms that can capture light to produce their food. So these are nothing but autotrophs, children. They are nothing but autotrophs. Autotrophic nutrition is a self nutrition. It will take all the inorganic components like air, water, soil, everything, and it will convert into organic components. And whereas these heterotrophs will take the organic components as a food. So they will depend on other organisms. So depending on the types of availability of food, organisms can assort to a range of strategies of food intake and use. Some organisms break down the food materials outside the body and only eat. For example, there are saprophytes. Saprophytes are nothing but which eat dead and organic matter, children. So this saprophytes will break down the food outside the body and it will have the food like yeast, mushrooms and all. And some organisms derive nutrition from plants or animals without killing them. So this type of parasitic nutrition, so there are also parasitic nutrition. So some organism will depend on other animals or other plants, that is parasitic nutrition. These are also heterotrophs. Okay, so other type of organisms, heterotrophs, take whole food material and break it down inside their body only. So what can be taken in and broken down depends on body's design and its function, children. So all the animals, see, every organism have different type mode of nutrition. Someone will take the food through mouth. Some organism like bacteria and all, they do not have mouth for ingestion of food. They will do some other type of mode of nutrition. There are different modes of nutrition, children. So these are all heterotrophs. Okay, yes. So since the food and the way it is obtained differs, the digestive system is also different in various organisms. Like in single cell organisms, there is a, let's see, a nutrition in amoeba. So amoeba is a single cell organism, children. So in amoeba, the food may be taken in by the entire surface, but as the complexity of the organism increases, different parts become specialized to perform different functions. So it has a special structures known as pseudopodia. So of the cell surface which fuse over the food particle, it will catch the food particle, slowly it will take the food into the body, and this food is diffused in the cytoplasm, and the waste products will come out of the body through the cell membrane only. So this is ingestion, it will take the food, it is digested. Third step is absorption, it will absorb the food. Assimilation, it will use the absorbed food, that is assimilation. And egestion, egestion is removing the unwanted food from the body, that is egestion. This is the nutrition in amoeba. So coming to the nutrition in paramecium. So paramecium is a unicellular organism, children. It is a slipper shaped organism. It has a special structure known as cytostome, which helps in the ingestion of the food. So this paramecium will help in the ingestion of the food. Food is taken at a specific spot. Food is moved at the spot by movement of the cilia, which covers the entire surface of the cell. Where the food is ingested, that place is known as cytostome. So somewhere here you have a cytostome through which the food is ingested. So next, coming to the nutrition in Cuscuta, children. So Cuscuta is a parasitic plant. So this brown color structures are you seeing here? These are nothing but a parasitic plant. It has no chlorophyll and cannot make its own food by photosynthesis. Instead, it grows on other plants using their nutrients for its growth and weakening the host plant. Slowly it will weaken the host plant and it will occupy whole forest. That is Cuscuta, brown color one. So this Cuscuta reflexa. There is one species known as Cuscuta reflexa. There is 170 species of Cuscuta reflexa. Sorry, Cuscuta, genus Cuscuta, children. So this is nothing but a dodder plant. It is leafless, twinning, parasitic plant. Belong to morning glory family, Convolvulaceae. Important it is, remember, Convolvulaceae, because you should know the families. So the which family it belongs and all. So the genus contain 170 species, as I already said you. So this will never have a chlorophyll. If at all it is having this Cuscuta reflexa, it will have very minimal chlorophyll. So, but how it will acquire the food if it is not having chlorophyll? It will not perform any photosynthesis. Then it will absorb food through haustoria. It develops a special structures known as haustoria. Haustoria is nothing but it is a root-like structure that penetrates into the xylem and phloem of the host cell, children. So this, in this way, see, this is a haustoria. It will penetrates into the stem of the plant. So in this way, this haustoria, so xylem is giving them water and phloem is giving them food. So they are root-like structure. So this Cuscuta is a slender string-like stem of dodder, may be yellow, orange, pink or brown in color, children. So its leaves are reduced to minute scales. So the dodder flowers in nodule-like cluster are made up of tiny yellow or white bell-like petals. So here you can see the white bell-like petals. So they are nothing but the flowers, petals. So the dodder seeds germinate, forming an anchor root, and then slowly it will slender lead, slowly it will twin the host plant. It will develop haustoria and it will penetrate the haustoria into xylem and phloem, and it will acquire the nutrients from the host plant. Slowly it will round up whole plant. So see, this is the xylem and phloem. So this haustoria will go inside the xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are nothing but the vascular bundles which are present in the stem. So this haustoria, see here, this haustoria will go inside the stem and it will go until the xylem and phloem and acquire water from the xylem and food from the phloem. These two are the vascular bundles, tissues of the plant. Yes. So in this way it will go into the plant and it will slowly occupy, spreads throughout the host plant like this, and it will weaken it, and finally the host may also die. And this Cuscuta has a capacity to move from one plant to other, slowly from one plant to other, like that it can occupy whole forest. So this is a very dangerous parasite because it is killing all the plants over there. The main point is that it do not have chlorophyll. So it has a special structures known as haustoria. It is penetrating into the plant and it is moving forward. So in this way, Cuscuta is doing the nutrition, is acquiring the nutrition. So when you observe, children, within these three organisms, amoeba, paramecium, Cuscuta, you can see different modes of nutrition. See, amoeba has taken food through plasma membrane. That process is known as endocytosis. And paramecium has taken food through cytostome. And this Cuscuta is penetrating into the haustoria is penetrating into the host plant, and it is acquiring food and shelter, everything, water from the host plant. So three different organisms are doing three different modes of life or nutrition, right? So every organism, every species have their own modes of nutrition. See, we human beings will take food only through our mouth. So there are different organisms perform different modes of nutrition. So these are all the heterotrophic nutrition. I hope you understood the class, children. Coming to the assignment part, draw a neat labeled diagram of the nutrition in amoeba. Next one, write a note on nutrition in Cuscuta. Third one, define what is heterotrophic nutrition. I hope you understood the class, children. Thank you. We will meet again in the next class.